Hey everybody, today we're reviewing The Batman First Night. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. As always, I'm your host, Brent, and today we're reviewing The Batman First Night. That's how it's pronounced. It's not Batman The First Night, it's The Batman First Night, as it says on the spine. I did an overview of this maybe a week or two ago, and so I finally read it, and I gotta say, it was pretty good. Not the best Batman story I've ever read, but like I feel like I said this in the overview time and time again, the real draw of this book is the oversized art and the 1938-39 setting and the pencils and inks by none other than Mike Perkins. And in that sense, the story does not falter. What Dan Jurgens has created here is a cool little retelling of like the first couple Batman adventures, Batman and the Monster Men kind of thing. If you've read Matt Wagner's book, I got it over here. This is hard to find. If you've read Matt Wagner's book, Batman and the Monster Men, you've kind of read this story. This was another retelling of the early Batman adventures. This one is hard to find. It's out of print. I don't think they've ever reprinted the Batman and the Monster Men or the Batman and Mad Monk series that follows this up. There is a hardcover out there, also a deluxe hardcover. You can find them on Comixology or the app, but a physical copy, good luck. I have not seen them reprint it at all. So this is kind of a redo of that anyway. This was stretched to 6 issues. This is just 3 oversized issues, so it's kind of the same, although there are lots of things that don't correlate in terms of a retelling, right? So Dan Jurgens has his own thing to do here. He has his own guy who's creating the Monster Men. Batman looks completely different. There is a focus on what the World War and Hitler invading Poland is having an effect on Gotham City and how it's affecting the local rabbi there and his congregation, and Bruce Wayne's going to him and confiding in him. And frankly, there's a lot more in this book that is true to that first appearance of Batman in terms of the purple gloves, the boots, him having a gun, and driving a red car instead of a black Batmobile. That's in here in this book as well. Here's the sequence with the rabbi. All that stuff is in here. So it's much more true to the first appearances of the Batman back in 1938-39. I'm not sure which year. One of you guys corrected me on the last episode, so I'm just going to say both, just for quality's sake, to cover my bases. But anyway, much more true to the first appearance, especially with the scalloped ears kind of pointing out, instead of straight up like the Batman we all know and love. But this is just a beautiful, beautiful book. So is it worth picking up? This may be a short review because there's not a lot to talk about in terms of plot. And it's kind of a story we've all read before if you've read Batman and the Monster Men or read some of the Batman first appearances. But I think it's interesting enough. I think it's worth a pickup, honestly. If you can find this at a discount for less than $30, I think it's worth your while. The artwork is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, Mike Perkins here does a phenomenal job. The colorist, Mike Spicer, does a phenomenal job with those colors. Everything jives together, has a really cool kind of pulpy look with these bright purples that kind of match Batman's gloves. They did a similar thing in Batman, what is it called? 0 Year, right? I like that. So I think it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous book. Lots of big panels, lots of splash pages, or not lots, but just the size of these pages. What I like the most about the Black Label books that are this magazine size is the size of the pages. There's room, a panel like this would be, a third of that size on a regular comic book. But the fact that this is so wide, it gives the penciler and inker, which is just Mike Perkins in this case, room to do it in such lavish detail that you feel like every panel that size is a splash page. And that's what I mean by, maybe that's what I meant by lots of splash pages. I mean, look at this. Look at this panel. Just talking heads, but gorgeous, gorgeous detailed artwork here from Mike Perkins. And I think that is one of the main reasons to pick this up. There is a new subplot here with, what's her name? The actress I think it's Julie. She's also in other Batman continuities. She's a reporter. I think she's the girl that gets killed in Bruce Wayne Murderer, right? There's an interesting plot here with Bruce Wayne funding a movie that's getting filmed in Gotham, and how the crimes and fires are affecting that. That's kind of interesting to see that. And there's also kind of this relationship with her and her co-star where she's like, you know, a shield for him because he has an alternative lifestyle, we'll say, right? Which wasn't popular at the time and wasn't accepted at the time back in the 30s. So that's an interesting kind of thing to take note of here. Just kind of placing you in that time setting, reminding you that, yeah, you know, almost 100 years ago, things were different. Almost 100 years ago. That is wild. Wild. Yeah, crazy. So, yeah, beautiful, beautiful artwork. So I enjoyed this for what it was. I like this, and I think it stands apart enough from Batman and the Monster Men that you can recommend these both, and you can read them both and get a different experience out of it. This is much more focused on like setting up the next book with the Mad Monk and things like that. Like I think the culprit here is Hugo Strange. Yeah, he's the main culprit in Batman and the Mad Monk, and that is not the case in the First Knight. So a little bit of differences here, and what each author, you know, each writer wants to focus on is different here. He really wants to place you in 1938-39 and what the USA was like back then, and Batman and the Mad Monk just kind of wants you to tell an early Batman story with hints of the 30s, right? So at least that's what I remember from the last time I read it, which was so long ago. And this is like one of the first videos I did on my channel was underrated Batman stories, and this was on that list, so I should probably go back to this and reread it and review it for the channel by itself. But we're talking about Batman First Knight here, and I think it's worth a pickup. If you can find it on discount, you can find it less than $30, even $5 less, I would say pick it up. It's a gorgeous hardcover. The artwork is gorgeous. I'm sure it will be out in a softcover. DC is tending to do like softcover versions of this at the same size of these Black Label books at a much later date, so maybe it'll be a year, 2 years before that comes out. But yeah, if you can find this online for less than $30 or at a shop for less than $30, or you got a coupon or something like that at your LCS, this is worth a pickup. I think you're going to have some fun with this. It's just a well-told Batman story, and at this point, what can you ask from these Black Label books? Are they going to do a second one? I don't know. I would read it, I think. Anything with Mike Perkins doing art at this level, this oversized thing with Batman, I would definitely pick up. I enjoyed looking at his artwork that much. It's so lush, so colorful. The details in his inks are just, you know, so fantastic that I wish we had more Mike Perkins art of this quality out there in the universe. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on Batman First Knight. Let me know if you guys picked this up and what you thought of it, and we'll see you guys next time in the Funny Pages.